What's up, everybody? Sensei here. Welcome to the show. Welcome to another video. We're going to try this mic'd up commentary ride one more time. I do want to apologize. When I went to edit the video, I found out that the microphone clip on the back of the mic was making a slight vibration noise when I would hit a bump every so often. So I do apologize for that. But I think overall it came out pretty good. If you like content like this, please sub to the channel. Give the video a big old thumbs up. And let's rock and roll.
Chiggy check, microphone check 1. Chiggy check, microphone check 2. Chiggy check, microphone check 3. It's the sounds of the notorious Sensei G. What's happening, everybody? We are going to try this one more time. I believe I have all the mic issues sorted out. And we are on a Sunday ride. And I want to thank everybody for coming in on the Friday night wheel jam with Zach and Green Master Mike. And it was awesome. It was so freaking awesome. And each time I'm able to connect with other riders, each time I'm able to connect, I can't even get that out. Every time I can connect with other riders, it's just awesome. So I'm out here. I'm going to do a mic commentary. I normally don't do this because I always try to keep my focus on the road, but I've been doing this long enough, so I should be pretty good at it. But it always seems like the more you tinker around on your ride as far as with equipment, it's just more stuff to go wrong. You know, that's why I normally don't like riding with the microphone. A lot of times I will take and just use the external mic. If I have something to say, I'll pull the camera in closer and say it. Because what I did, I actually put some micro dead cats on my microphones on my camera to help reduce some of the wind noise, and that seems to work pretty good. But I hope everyone's weekend is going well. Weather up here is kind of shaky. They're talking about snow today up here in Jersey. And Jersey's also in the news for, let me go this way. I always do my warm-up laps. I always tell you guys that before I head out on the road, get a little bit of heat in the tire. And I added some extra air into this tire. Feels pretty good. I might have put a little bit too much. I'm going to discuss that today because I have a hate-love relationship with the CST street tire. So let's get out on the road first, and then I'll start discussing the tire and what I like and dislike. And then I will give you a review on the T4 Pro. That's the wheel that I'm riding today. And please let me know how the mic sounds. Like I said, I normally don't do this. I do a lot of voiceover work to try to give you the best sound that I can. Traffic is not crazy. I'm going to mix up my route a bit. I'm going to add a couple little extra twists and turns in it today. I'm going to have to go down past the dude's house, so I had to give a little quick chokey choke that time. I've been riding down faster all the time. He hasn't come out and said anything. I don't even think the dude remembers. Anyway, if he does decide to come out again, I'm either going to ignore the dude or I'm going to choke him completely out next time. Okay, so here we go. Wow, my eyes are watering and everything. Good golly. It is cold out here. It's like 34 degrees, maybe 32 degrees. Okay. So let's start talking about the CST street tire. When I start first riding the T4 Pro, I jumped on it and I loved the tire. It's a 16x3, and it gives you really good grip. It does. And that's one thing, that is one thing that I loved about this tire, is the grip it gives you, right? It's almost to the point where you have to watch how much PSI you put in the tire. Now, I went and upped the PSI. It was a little low on the last ride, but I put a little extra than I normally do because I noticed the more PSI you put into this tire, it's going to fight you into the turn. This tire will fight you on the turns where it wants to force you to go straight. So you have to commit it. And I noticed this, the more PSI that I have in the tire, this is when it happens. So I think the sweet spot for me, as far as air goes for street riding, is about 28 PSI. I think that is good for my body weight. Some people might want to go a little more, but for me, it's perfect. But that's the last thing you want to happen is when you're riding. Let's say you have to avoid a nice crack in the road or something, and you're fighting a turn, and you're going to turn, and then your wheel is fighting against you to make it go straight or bring it back to center. That is not fun. It's not reassuring when you ride. So that would be my biggest gripe with this tire. It has like a serious gyro effect on it where it wants to keep you upright. It can be a gift and a curse, depending on how you look at it. Hold on a second, my feet are a little bit off here. Slide them up a little bit. No, let's go down this way today. So that's, that's the gripe that I have, man. I don't think you want to have a tug of war match with your tire when you're riding. But as far as grip goes, this tire is stickier than a booger, man. It's stickier than a freaking booger. One of them wet boogers. But yeah, it has some serious grip, but keep that in mind when you're riding with the CST street tire. Wind is picking up a bit. See, even right now, I can feel it. I can feel it fighting me, but I put enough miles on this thing to know how it reacts. See, I think 28 is the best. I have about 31 to 30 in it now. So after this ride, I'm going to take it back down to, I'm going to take it to 28. Now, as far as value goes with the T4 Pro, I've seen it as low as $1,300, and that's without like a discount using another rider's discount code. So you could probably knock another $100 off this wheel and pick it up for about $1,200. I think it's a steal for a wheel. I made a rhyme. I really do. Again, this wheel is not going to be some high-speed city ripper, but if you're looking for a good side street shredder or a good city banger commute wheel, I think the T4 Pro is pretty darn good. I think it's an excellent value. My other gripe with the T4 Pro, if you guys can see this, It's just the top of the wheel. You know, I think Pagoda is moving away from that now. If you look at the ET Max, the Blitz, it's just too soft. Like if this wheel goes down just in a minor little slip up, more than likely you're going to rip the top of the wheel, the seat. I mean, you really can't help it. It's just too soft. And I think Pagoda needs to really move away from that or make it out of another material. That's just out as far as what I have on a wheel. Give y'all a shot of this. Let me tilt the camera. I have power knobs. Hopefully y'all can see that. I'm really digging the power knobs. I have a Nyla Nova fairing kit on it with the Nyla Nova handles. The front, and hope we can see that the back handle. But here, if you look in the front, when I ordered the front handle, and I will say, I'll put the blame on me, but I think, at least I didn't see it when I ordered it. I want to get past this intersection. At least I didn't see it. This front handle had a matching green piece, the same that you would see in the back here. I don't know if you saw that, but I'll give you another shot of it in a bit. And it didn't fit, so I had to modify it. I had to cut the green piece off of it, and it was cool because that would have been like a front kickstand, and I just took and I cut it down to the bars. There were two round bars, and I wrapped it with some handlebar tape, as you can see right here, because the boxes, the front handle was made for the T4 with the plastic battery boxes. It was not made for the one with the metal boxes like I have, so the front handle did not fit. I was a little ticked off at that because I think it's an honest mistake, and I never contacted them. I mean, they're overseas, and I really didn't want to make a stink about it. So I just kept it, you know, whatever, just modified, and just keep on riding it. Eventually, I might move toward a Grizzla, a full Grizzla kit. I don't know yet, but we'll see. But as of right now, I'm just riding it. It looks good. And it rides fairly well. So I'm not going to complain too much on it that way. See, right there when I'm turning, I could feel the wheel fight against me into that turn. So again, that's something that I really dislike about the T4 Pro. I'm going up this steep hill. I don't even think you can really see it on video. It's pretty steep. And this thing is just murdering this hill. I mean, it's a really nice, quick wheel, especially with this 16x3 tire. Again, it's closer to like a 17 and a half, almost 18 inch. But it feels fantastic as far as the maneuverability of this wheel. And there's the back side of the wheel. You can see the handle. And what we'll do, we'll just shoot back down this hill. I'll go to the bottom and then we'll hang it right. I mean, it's getting dark already. It was really nice having Zach on. I'm not sure who the guest is going to be for this week. If no one decides to come on, I'm going to do a live anyway. So I'm back down at Riverside Park. I like coming here. It's quiet today. But I normally come here just to get the feel of the wheels. Sometimes you don't have to be going full send 100% of the time while you're riding. It's not necessary. It really isn't. It's just you want to get the feel, the balance, and sometimes how it reacts at slow speeds. Like I said on the stream, slow is fast and fast is slow, depending on your riding situation. So you have to remember that. And these smaller wheels, in my opinion, sometimes can make you a better rider, especially like something like an M10.5, M10.3, the A2. You can just use these things to really hone your skills at pendulum. If you want to learn how to pendulum, riding backwards, and I still have to learn how to ride backwards. And I can ride seated on certain wheels, but not every wheel. Like this one, I tried it, but with the pads, it makes it very difficult. My main thing for me is I like to be comfortable. And if I'm not comfortable, then I'm not going to do it. And my last concern about riding seated, and this came after I got hit by that SUV, is just being visible on a road. Because think about it, when you're riding seated, you're basically at the level or lower, depending on the vehicle, than the people driving. They're not going to see you if if you're in their blind spot. And, they might have blind spot sensors on the car, but most people don't pay attention to that stuff, man. They're doing a lot of times everything else they should be instead of just driving and looking out for people. So that's another one of my pet peeves about riding seated. And I see some riders that are just phenomenal at it. August Hill, U Stride, Dust Shorts, David Jansen. And I'm just naming some of these local riders. My buddy Keith's really good at it. My EUC journey, and then of course, Roger and Zach, Don, and Marty, they're all excellent at it. But for me, I do need some practice. I can do it. Now, as far as making a transition from standing to seated, that needs work, but I can take off from the seated position. And believe it or not, the easiest wheel for me, riding seated, is the V11. I rode the V11 seated the first time. That was my buddy Keith's wheel. And I actually thought about picking up a V11 just to practice my seated riding. I saw a mega deal on a V11Y. I just want to make sure that deal is legit, and I might actually pick up that wheel just to hone my skills. And then my next wheel will be my race wheel. And this is something else you have to remember too. If you're going to be consistently changing your shoes, you're going to have to keep changing your freaking pads around. Because I had a different pair of shoes on last time, but I wanted to put the ones that I'm used to riding on. And I did, and I needed to go back and adjust the pads. I should have did that before the ride. So I can definitely feel the difference. Now, what I'm going to say now might be, I don't want to say controversial. Again, this is my opinion. I think footwear is very important. You don't want something too stiff. You want something that's going to protect you, but not make you move like you have 2x4s attached to your feet. And something that I've noticed is I change my shoes frequently. I like shoes with a wider toe box, something that's going to let your toes spread out over the pedals instead of keeping them bunched up like this. It seems like you have more control over the wheel. It's more comforting when you're riding because your feet aren't going to hurt, and it's going to help keep circulation in your toes. So that would be my advice to any rider. Look for boots or sneakers, depending on what you like to ride in, with a wider toe box that's going to let your toes breathe. You're going to have more movement and better circulation, and then you'll get better grip on the pedals instead of having your toes just all bunched up. You got to watch having your toes all bunched up in your shoes too, because they give you freaking bunions. Don't take my word on it. Do the research. I can do a little bonk here. Okay. See, now like I'm into the ride. I'm like, all right, I'm feeling good. I really dig the T4 Pro. And you know what else I thought about is the T4 Pro Max. I think that wheel is going to fly underneath the radar. And honestly, I don't think it's going to be a big seller. But it will give you that top end speed that the T4 Pro doesn't give you. If I'm not mistaken, you can probably hit 42 to 43 miles an hour with the T4 Pro Max. It's lightweight. I think it'd make a killer off-road wheel. And that's something else that I was thinking of actually picking that up. I don't know, to use that for the off-road race, Cobra's off-road race, the Wheel Life Rally. Because I did have my T4 Pro last year, but I had just got the wheel maybe a week before the race, and it had the street tire on it. That's why I didn't use it, and I used my RS. But I feel like if I would have had my T4 Pro with a knobby on it, I would have did a lot better than I did on my RS, because I could hold speed a lot faster with the suspension, you know. But like I said, we'll see what's going to happen. We'll see. But not much else going on. I don't have to go back to work until Thursday, which is awesome. So we're going to try to ride and put up at least a video a day. Let me see what this is looking like back here. Okay, it's good. Yeah, this pressure, this tire, this PSI is not bad. Like I said, I'm running about 31 PSI. Feels pretty good. Again, I am fighting a tire a little bit. I noticed that. The last time I was riding, I think the tire pressure had dropped down till about, it was about 23, I think. But now it's pretty good. Ooh, a little muddy over here. It's definitely muddy over here. don't want to lose traction. Yeah, I don't want to do that again. A little bit wet. But I tell you what, man, that would have been wicked fun to be able to go to China. And even if I wasn't going to race, just to be there with everybody. Well, I almost fell off. My toe got cut. Show you guys what I'm looking at here. It's definitely a dreary day. It's low tide. One good thing about today, it's not windy. The last few rides that I've been out on, the wind was horrible. I know I went out a couple weeks ago with my buddy Coquette, and the wind was treacherous. I mean, literally almost unrideable, even seated. I mean, we came around this turn, and I was riding at one of my favorite places. I was riding at the Corte Park, and it literally stood me straight up on a wheel, and I ride straight up and down as it is, and it brought me to a complete stop. And I started leaning, and I was like, wait a second, I don't want to overlean this wheel and cut it out. So I kind of was just in one place, just twisting and turning to keep my balance. But yeah, it was horrible. Power knobs are feeling great. And I honestly think I have the T4 Pro pretty much where I like it. I don't think I'm going to change the pads again. The power knobs are going to stay on. I just might make a couple minor adjustments. I think like my right foot probably can be a little bit snugger. So I'll have to pull it back. I don't know if I have to pull it back. Let me see. Let me just, how's that feel? Probably just slide it down a bit. Because right now I'm having to actually lean a little bit too much to put the power down on the wheel. Yeah. And the left foot, let's see how that one feels. About the same thing. I just think it needs to be a little bit snugger on the instep of my foot. Yeah, that's about it. Suspension feels good. I made all the adjustments I really need to the suspension. Oh yeah, it's feeling good. It's feeling good. She's feeling good. Now all I have to do is get the EX20. I farted around with that wheel so much, man. I messed up as far as handling. I think the last pad setup I had with the flipped upside down Alien Rides pedals was perfect. It was perfect, and I should have just left it alone. Yeah, I should have just left it alone. Actually, you know what? I'm going to adjust it right. I think if I should adjust it now or just wait. Yeah, I think the right one just needs to be slid back a touch. Let me, actually, I'm going to do that right now. And I normally don't like doing that because when we start effing around with stuff, it just sometimes it makes it worse than making it better, especially being out on the road. So let's just see if I didn't F it up. Okay. I think that feels a little bit better. Yeah, I think that feels better. Yeah, I think that feels better. Yeah, I think that feels better. Almost there, almost 100%. So if I was to give this T4 a rating on a scale from, everyone usually uses what, 1 to 5 or 1 to 10, I would give this wheel, and the thing is you have to look at what category of wheel this is. You know, it's not in a category of a Blitz or a Sherman L, not even close. But for a commuter wheel, I'm looking at the price value and everything. There's everything bunched in to one. I would give this wheel, because there are minor things that they could have did, but I'm not going to, like, so I'm not going to bash it. I would give this wheel an 8. I would say an 8, an 8.5. I really would. And I think the T4 Pro Max would probably be a 10. And my only gripe being with the T4, the biggest gripe is just the top of the wheel. Just the top. They need to make it out of a different material, something that's more rugged. And if I'm not mistaken, the T4 Pro Max comes with 50S cells. So you can definitely get some more range and you can suck the power out of that freaking wheel too. But I will give the T4 Pro an 8.5. I will give it an 8.5. I think it's a heck of a value. And anyone looking to get just a little banger wheel, I think you can't go wrong with the T4 Pro, especially at the price point. Like, I saw it as low as $1,300 without any type of discount on it. So you can't go wrong with the T4 Pro, aka the Street Weasel. That's what she's looking like from the side. Pretty good. I'm happy with her. I really am. This piece, this green piece for the back handle, the rear handle, it had one for the front. That's the piece I was talking about, and I just didn't fit because of the battery boxes. But there you have it, an 8.5 review score for the T4. And, you know, hopefully if they do another version of the T4, they'll put, you know, some type of fairings that come with it. I don't think you should have to buy fairing plates for these wheels. I think they should automatically come with fairings. Again, that's just me. But for what this wheel is, man, I think it's a great value. So just be mindful of the tire. You just want to really pay attention to the pressure of your tire. I noticed, like I said, for me, the more pressure that's in it, it seems like you have to really fight it on turns because it wants to just bring you back to center. So maybe if you take a little bit of pressure out, it makes it a little less reactive, but it makes it more predictable when you go to turn. But if you're doing jumps and stuff, you're going to have to up the pressure on it because you don't want to bang out the rim. I'm also rocking a new tripod. I'm digging this tripod. It's actually pretty cool. And who's ever watching this video, if you want to be a guest on one of the live streams, you can hit me up. Just leave a comment, or you can hit me up on IG or Facebook. Facebook, I go under Charles Dixon, and we can take and make something work. I'm going to go out on the main road here. But I also want to thank everybody that watches the videos and just making this channel happen. I mean, the growth is phenomenal. And I appreciate everybody just, you know, doing their part and helping me out. I do my best to make the best content I can for y'all. But I will say this, making content is not easy. It is not. I think that when you're making videos, you have to be careful that you don't burn yourself out. It's very easy to do that. You don't want to get content burnout. I'm actually going to loop around and go back this other way because it's just going to be easier for me to get out of here. It'll be easier because there's a light. That car's trying to fight its way across that intersection. Like I said, I am not in any tug of war with cars. But yeah, making content it can get rough sometimes, man. And I don't want to burn myself out when it comes to making content. But I appreciate everybody. I really, really do. I'm up over 1,800 subscribers. And I owe that to each and every one of y'all for subbing and watching the videos and coming in on the live streams, because it's your participation and all the love that I get that keep me going, because I make $0 from doing this. Zero. I don't get paid to do this at all. I would love to get monetized. It would be great. But even then, man, when it comes to monetization on YouTube, do you realize it's only 6% of creators that get monetized? I mean, there's other ways that you can make money. But YouTube is no joke. 6%. That's it. So I'm almost close to getting monetized, but it's not going to be the end all be all. One of my main things is to come in here, share information, help try to push the EUC community forward, and just help it get put on a map. I mean, I love racing and that type of stuff, but it's not my main focus. For me, it's just being part of this whole community. Just makes what I do worthwhile as far as making the content for y'all. So I'm gonna keep doing it. I do get a little tired sometimes, but let me see if I can make. I don't know if I can make this light. Nah, I thought I was gonna be able to make it. That's okay. Let's go up here and we'll wait. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna walk the wheel across. Yeah, I'm just gonna walk it across here. Sometimes I do that. You know, like I said, I am in no battle to be fighting with these cars out here. I give them the right of way, and I'm gonna get where I'm going safely. So here we go. Uh-oh. My knee pad is making some weird noise. I think the strap came undone. Let's see. Might have to get I think my Liats. I don't know. It's making some weird popping noise. Yeah, I might have to order a new pair of knee pads. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know what happened there. Yeah, it's just on my yeah, I don't know what happened with my knee pad. Well, I've had these for a while, and they served a purpose. These knee pads have done well for me. So hopefully this video comes out, man. Because I'll tell you what, dude, there's nothing worse than when you get home and your footage is just all effed up, man. I've lost footage. You think you're recording, and I know I was shooting my GoPro, and the camera shut off on me a couple times. That was just annoying, but I've had pretty good luck with these DJIs. Really have. I was looking at getting the Pro, the DJI 5 Pro, but I also like that Pocket 3, man, especially for like low light. Like today, the video footage, even though I'm shooting in 4K, it might be a little bit grainy because it is really gray out here. So We got the Tesla in front of me here. Again, man, I'll let cars go in a minute. I'm not trying to battle with these darn drivers out here because people's egos go through the roof, man. I'm telling you, dude, I am not going to be out here battling with no freaking cars, man. I noticed, too, the battery on this camera, it's pretty good. Don't get me wrong, but I noticed in cold weather, boy, you're going to lose. It's going to drain a little bit faster. But overall, man, I'm rocking out. I think I've told you before with the Action 3, DJI Action 3. And as long as the lighting is good, this camera rocks, man. This camera slaps. Jeez Louise. I don't know, man. I've probably done, I don't want to overestimate, but I've probably done 400 videos on this camera alone. Easy. Easy 400 videos. So let me know what y'all think about this mic'd up commentary. Like I said, I'm really not into doing mic'd up commentary. This is not my thing, but let's see for this last bit of the ride. We can do something a little bit different here. Hold on a second. I'm trying to make some adjustments, so bear with me here. I'm going to shorten down the selfie stick a bit. So this is what I do right here. This is a 4-way, so it's pretty good. Now, if you look down the middle of this road, there's a nasty seam in the road. So you have to be careful that your tire doesn't track into that seam. And there's certain parts of the road where it's higher than others. So riders, be mindful of the terrain changes when you're riding. See, like right here is cool. Like I can zip across it. And maybe I'm just being overcautious. But some of them seams, you hit it the wrong way, your wheel will track on you and you'll get thrown off the wheel. So you got to be careful. And even right here, this strip of road, I always have the right of way, but I always slow down coming up to these intersections because people will blow right through these stop signs. So if you think you have the right of way at this intersection, always approach the intersection with some caution. Like right here, it's a 4-way. I'm looking, nothing. And I'm also listening for the vehicles as well, not just looking for them. And then I pick up some speed. Slow it down, look both ways. Getting a little bit of wobbles here. I think when I changed the paths, I threw it off a little bit, but I'll make some more minor adjustments. Okay, we are going to make a left. See, right there? The tire just fought me right there. I could feel it. So it's like I probably need to lean out over the wheel a little bit more and just overcommit a little bit more on the turn. But my style of riding, I just try to keep it nice and smooth. That's the way I like to ride, nice and smooth. I really don't like making any more movements that I have to. Bigger wheels, you can get away with it more. Something that weighs a little bit heavier, but these smaller wheels, I like being nice and smooth on the wheel. So even here, we're coming up to the red light. I'm going to look over this way, creep up nice and slow. There's nothing coming. I'm going to do a splash and go. This car is coming out. I slow down. I'm looking at this one coming up. I make eye contact, and they're letting me go. That's a good thing. That's why I always slow down coming up to these lights. And that's how I normally ride. Here, I'm going to go out a little bit from these cars in case someone opens up their car door. I don't feel like getting freaking doored. Cut back over. I'm going to signal to the right. And that's it, man. That's Sensei style of riding on the street. Hit the speed bumps. And we are home, baby. I can feel my body getting a little bit cold now. Hey, so that was actually pretty good. The battery lasted. We had a nice run. I'm going to do one cool down. Yes, I do a cool down as well. Yes, I do a cool down run. So I want to thank each and every one of y'all for joining me. Remember, you get on your wheel, you ride it like you hate it. You be safe out there, you ride it like you hate it. I'm Sensei. Hello. Good night.
Riding down Ship Street, we own the air. Electric whip blazing in the night glare. Danger zone follows us if they dare. Beat, beat, move aside if you care. We're legends on the asphalt, mighty and bold. Whispers of our tales in the stories we told. Street lights flicker, but our spirits never fold. With kings by our side, we ride in the cold. Rebel riders on the prowl. Hear the engines growl and howl. We take no orders, never bow. Fight the system, we pledge our vow.